Mike, this is Mike. He's the one that TIG welded my fender well headers for the 54, and he has been building this car for how long?
Well, I've had it for 30 years, but I've been driving it for that long too.
30 years, and you've been kind of building it for what?
Yeah, 30 years.
30 years.
Changing it on and off.
Is that right?
It started out with a 63 Volkswagen.
63 Volkswagen.
Yeah, pulled the body off of the Volkswagen. Made some bulkheads out of paper from car shows off of GT40s and such, and then cut them out of wood, put them on the Volkswagen frame, foamed it, carved it, and fiberglassed it. That's how the body was made. Drove around for at least 10 years with Volkswagen engine, back and forth to college and such. Kept my kids, they sat in the back where the engine now is. Went from a Volkswagen to a 350 Corvette to a twin turbo, twin intercooled Corvette motor on a ZF 5-speed to a 502.
Wow.
Roller rocker, punched, aluminum heads on a ZF 5-speed.
Well, you mind if we take a look at it?
No.
All right, we're gonna, since it's already up in the air.
Oh, here, come under here.
Okay.
The frame is of important note because here's the Volkswagen left.
Okay.
This frame was a helicopter landing pad
Is
that
that
I used
right?
to land on to work on helicopters, and it would then you could roll the helicopter into the shop. So
I'll be
that
darned.
whole rectangular frame is a helicopter.
Okay. Oh
thing.
man, look at that.
And then
That's unbelievable.
yeah, it's strange. Huh?
That's beautiful.
And then this came off of a '85 Cadillac front-wheel drive Eldorado.
Oh, yeah.
And I dug it out of a field. It was in the back of a van. Somebody had put front-wheel drive in the back of a van. So I dug it out, and then I molded these Volkswagen pieces that hold the shocks on from the Volkswagen into the existing arm, because they used to have torsion bars. So the bell housing I made to make the ZF 5-speed to there, and then made the flanges so I could use the Eldorado big half shafts for a lot of horsepower.
Oh yeah, sure, yeah.
Because with the twin turbo 350, I kept twisting the shafts.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
And it's got 2 oil filters on it?
Yeah.
I'll be
And
darned.
they got aluminum finned oil coolers that go over them.
Okay.
To keep them cool. So it's sort of a combination cooler and for more capacity as well.
Okay. Wow.
But everything that you see, I mean, is mostly scrap. These are side-mounted, just a rectangular aluminum that I made for an auxiliary fuel tank for when the main one runs out.
So this is a fuel tank.
Yeah, on both sides.
I'll be darned.
And then the other aluminum pipes you see on the other side of that is what carries my water from the engine to the front of the car.
Let me go over there and see that. Oh yeah, wow. How many, do you know how many gallons of gas
13 gallons.
13. How'd you?
13 of gallons of water.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 15 and a half gallons of fuel with
I
a
see.
3-gallon reserve.
Oh, so these reserves hold 3 gallons?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll be darned. How'd you figure that out? I'm curious. The 3 gallons.
Actually welded one end up and then poured gallon after gallon.
Oh, yeah. Okay, sure.
Old school.
Yeah. And did you make this front end?
Okay, now the front end, see, that's a horse of a different color. So now after I made the frame and everything, I had a little Fiero that I drove around. And it had excellent air conditioning, and it had excellent wiring and everything, which this car never had. Watch your head, right behind you. So anyway, I took the Fiero, which was running perfectly, and I dissected it completely down to a cabin and front frame. Then I molded it into the existing frame and the rest of the structure. Okay, so that was so I could get rid of the Volkswagen front end, which I was limited to race parts, and get the Fiero race parts.
Oh, okay.
So this made the whole thing handle better. Plus, it's air suspension.
What's this?
This is just to hold my tank up while I'm making my mounts for my tank.
Oh, okay.
That's the main
I
tank.
kind of thought that was being mocked up or something there. This is unbelievable, Mike.
Okay, watch your step. I'll let it down.
Okay.
Hey, can I spoil the movie a little bit with some steaks?
Oh, I can't eat. No. Yes, I do. I got to.
And
They're having
sausage.
lunch. Mm. Brazilian. What is that? Brazilian sausage?
Brazilian steaks.
Brazilian
That's
steaks.
It's called picanha.
Okay.
And did you paint this?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, I painted everything.
How
And
many-
this, you can't really see it, but when the light hits it right, it's got pearl orange in it.
How does it?
Yeah, flakes for the rest of it.
Wow. How many coats is on there? Or is that? It looks
4
powder
coats.
coated.
I know, everybody says that.
How we doing?
This is the tank I made. I had a 23-gallon tank out of aluminum that I made. It sat on the back, but I wanted to distribute the weight a little more evenly.
Oh, right, yeah.
So in order to do that, I built a tank that would fit up here. These I call compensators, okay? Got one here and one here. The reason being is so I could get an accurate fuel reading. My fuel sender unit was 11 inches long, so I had to compensate for that. Now, if I just made this one tower, it would go down pretty quick, okay? So what I did is I made this for another compensator and a fill, and then you see that one behind you? There's a tube behind you that goes up here. That aluminum tube.
Okay.
That goes up here. Now, when you start
It goes
filling
up
it,
long.
yeah, it goes right in here.
Okay.
When you start filling it, it naturally, because of the lower one, fills the saddle tanks first. Okay? And then once it fills the saddle tanks, it comes up to here and fills the main tank. Once it fills the main tank, it comes up to here and fills the front tank. Now those tanks are to keep that fuel gauge from going erratically. Okay, so it comes down evenly like a normal car would, because this is gravity fed, everything's gravity fed. So you see it will take a long time to get down. Then when you run out of fuel, you press a button and it shuttles the other 3 up to the main
Oh, okay.
thing.
Oh my God. That's losing a lot of sleep, Mike, right there.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
My Lord. And you're an airplane mechanic and helicopter mechanic.
Uh-huh.
That's how come you know all this stuff.
Well,
right?
my teachers in aeronautical college told me, find something that you like other than an airplane while you're learning, and build it.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And hone all your skills on that. Well, I've already built boats and everything else, so I figured, you know what? My kid had Matchbox cars. I figured I'm going to go ahead and build something like this.
Well, Mike, it's unbelievable. I was hoping to see that that mechanism you got to open your glove box or something.
That's
Oh,
over
it's
here.
over here. Wait, let's look at this engine real quick. What size engine is this?
That's a 502.
Oh, yeah, 502.
Punched out roller rocker, roller lifters, fuel injected. Most of this car was built from scrap stuff.
Oh, was it?
These are old boat mounts.
Oh, yeah, right, yeah.
Yep. And these are old boat mounts. The shifter, I had to make it go backwards. So the shifter is parts from up front, a helicopter, an old Egg Harbor boat,
You know what?
Egg Harbor boat.
Egg Harbor.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the universals come out of a 1900D Beechcraft airplane for the flaps. And
Where are they? Where's the Universal?
they're underneath. You can't
Oh,
see
okay.
it. It makes it so it's, you know.
Oh, okay.
But they're rubber type, you know, they're aircraft stuff.
Huh.
And then this came off of a front of a Beechcraft Bonanza, Baron.
What's that? A shifter?
That come off of the front nose steering off of the Beechcraft
Oh,
airplane. And then I converted it so it went on here. Now, and this is all wheelchair stuff that come out from a wheelchair place.
Huh.
So this is how it shifts back and forth and it turns.
Okay.
So it reversed everything because, as you know, a ZF Porsche, the engine hangs off the back. So in order to get this to work, and see, then the shifter goes right in from the shifter. So in order to get this to work and make it work so it works the right way, you have to turn everything backwards.
Huh.
That was the first test. The other test, well, this was the first test, is luckily they give you enough room from this side to that side so you can swap the ring gear over. Otherwise, you'd have 5 speeds in reverse.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, right.
So
yeah.
you'd either have to make your engine run backwards, which is not a good deal,
No.
or do this, or in a lot of cases, people will turn them upside down. But then you run into another whole host of problems.
That's Porsche?
Yeah,
That
that's
transmission?
ZF 5-speed.
ZF
ZF.
ZF
Yeah.
5-speed.
And it was built bulletproof by Frank Eibel at Porsche.
Huh.
Yep.
And
And
how did
this,
they sell? How did you get it to match up to this 502?
well, what I did is I took and I had to cut the flange, because on a Porsche they're about this big. So I cut that off, and then what I had to do is I had to extend the shaft of the ZF 5-speed.
Yeah.
I had to machine a piece to go over the pilot thing so it would reach the pilot of the General Motors, and I used a ball bearing pilot instead of a Babbitt pilot.
Oh, okay.
And then what I did is I took a Lakewood scatter shield and I measured and I cut. So in other words, I shoved the Porsche in there with the clutch and everything, and then measured from the engine back, and then subtracted a 1/4 inch for the plating, the steel plate. Okay, so then you make the steel plate. You cut this, the scatter shield, and then you put the scatter shield on. You turn the engine up on its end, so there's no in play, so no side loads or anything, and you shove the transmission down with the plate that you've already made,
Yeah.
the flat plate, and then you just weld it on. You tack it in place, and it's perfectly
Yeah.
straight, and you weld it on.
Yeah. Oh my God.
So that was pretty simple. Making the headers.
Oh yeah, that sounds real simple, Mike. Oh my God, Mike. Okay, I gotta see this dash. Let me go run this side real quick.
Okay.
Oh, I see. You got steps on there?
No, that's for the battery.
Oh, the battery,
That holds
sure.
the battery
Steps.
down.
What am I, crazy?
Now come back in another month or so, and it'll be running, and the front end, everything will be on it where it opens and everything.
All right, I will. We'll continue the movie.
The drama.
Yeah, the drama. All right, let's see this dash. This thing is unbelievable.
This dash, this is all scrap metal left over from aircraft
Rebuilding
deals that
and
I
stuff.
did. Yeah, rebuilding stuff. And this is a dash that was out of a ZR1 Corvette, and it was rolled. And it was rolled by the guy that owned it, which owned Tower Hobbies. If any of you are hobbyists.
Tower
and
Hobby, sure, yeah.
big company.
Yeah, my dad gets their catalog.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he sold this whole ZR1 to our chief pilot, and it was crushed. Nobody wanted to take it on. So I took it on. I straightened it all out for the guy, but he didn't like these marks in the dash right here.
Oh, yeah?
That's from the glass when they rolled it over.
Oh, yeah, right.
So I put on the new dash pad, and I sort of like this dash.
Uh-huh.
And it was real flimsy, so I turned it upside down over a garbage can, and I epoxied some glass in it to make it stiff. And then I molded all this aluminum by hand. It's not done quite yet, but this whole thing pops in and out
Oh, does it?
without taking a screw out. It's held, and all the gauges, when they're in there, they're quick disconnect.
Oh, okay.
So each piece comes out. This piece comes out first, then the dash comes out, then this pops out. So it's like a puzzle.
Yeah.
But you don't have to.
And you made all this right
Yeah.
here.
Now
Oh.
this ain't hooked up yet because I'm getting ready to take it and powder coat it, so I really can't show you how that works because it's not hooked up. But when it is, it'll come up just like this.
Okay.
Okay, and there's
Yeah,
a
you
glove
had-
box that sits in here.
You had mechanism in here, and you said it does remotely.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, and that's this piece right here.
Oh, that's that. Okay.
Yeah. When this is hooked up, this will come up and that comes out. The
Oh, and there's a-
stereo's in there.
And the
that
stereo comes out and goes
comes
over.
out and goes over like that.
Do that again. It goes out.
It comes out and then tilts and then goes over.
Okay.
And then
Yeah.
a screen pops out, a 7.5-inch screen. But I made that with all scrap stuff too. This is all scrap stuff. This is fishing leader.
Oh yes.
And this is an old thing that works a seat on your car.
Oh yeah.
And a piece of all thread and some springs. And it works great. It's just simple. But it goes in and out and,
Yeah.
you know, nothing fancy. It's not a chip foose.
I don't think he could do something like this.
Yeah.
No matter how many guys he had with him.
But it's been a journey. I mean,
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Wow,
my kids
Mike.
used to sit where that engine is. Now, the nice thing about this mid-engine car is that this firewall right here I made to pop in and out of the inside, so you can work on the engine.
And that goes
keep it
behind the
clean.
driver's seat,
And that
right?
goes behind the driver's seat. But I wanted it a little bit thicker than that, and a little heat resistance. And so here's what I'm gonna do.
Okay. Oh, the plexiglass.
Yes.
Yes.
This gets cut out. This inner ring gets cut out, so that's gone.
Okay.
And then this piece. Then this piece will go
Okay. Yeah.
in that.
Yeah.
So it'll be bulletproof. And then you'll see the engine.
Does this have something to do with the name of the car or something?
Well,
Batman
no,
or something?
because see, I dressed up like Batman one time
Oh,
because
you
my
did?
grandkids call it the Batmobile.
Oh yeah, sure.
So on Halloween, I dressed up like Batmobile, and so now everybody calls it the Batmobile. And I'd rather have it called that than a kit car because kit car doesn't describe it.
Boy,
you know?
that's thick, isn't it?
Yeah,
I guess it's got to
absolutely.
be. Yeah.
Yeah, it's soundproof. And the inner firewall that goes over it to hold it all in and everything will have a perimeter of LED lights. That will
Oh,
go to
okay.
the music. You can change it any color you want.
Oh, really?
And it will light this Batman logo up
Oh yeah.
because it's all laser cut in there. And then that's going to be my third taillight underneath the car.
Okay. I'll be darned. Unbelievable, Mike. Well, thank you so much for this
You're welcome. You're welcome.
journey, man. Thank you so much. This has been, and I can't wait. You say in about a month, you think?
Yeah, don't you think, Octavio?
About a month, what for?
About a month we'll have it running, and the
Running.
front and the back on it.
I so hope that.
Yeah.
Yeah. A month.
But the way we're going now, yeah.
We're good.
And we have to. We got to be out of here in 5 months.
I know.
Yeah.
So
We have a restrict deadline, so
Well, you got a deadline,
as
huh?
fast as
yeah,
we can.
gonna miss this shop though.
I'll bet. Yeah.
But on the bright side, the house I bought up in Spring Hill,
Uh-huh.
I'm building a 2,200 square foot shop in the back.
Is that bigger than 2,200
Yeah,
feet?
this is 1,700.
Oh, it is. Okay. Okay. Well, thank you again, Mike.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thanks for coming.
Thank
by.
you for the delicious Brazilian
Yeah, you're
sausage,
welcome.
man. Thank you.
More to come.
See you later.
All right, take care.
Well, that does it.
Cool.
Thanks for watching, YouTube.